everyone, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to show you how to put together these fantastic new shaped cards. These are the new Get in Shape 2 collection, because there is already another one out by Creative Craft Products. So I had showed all of the other ones. I think it was the ones with the mobile phone, which was really popular, and there was a few others in that set, but these ones, yeah, fantastic. The easel and the birthday cake are brilliant. Let me know in the comments which ones you like, but I think you're going to really enjoy those ones. So let's get started. Okay, so first up I'm going to show you how to put together the perfect cake. So this one will go on a 5x7 card base. You get your main die here, and then you get all of these dies for all the decoration. So I've already got my 5x7 card blank here, and with I think most of the largest dies, they will have a section on the left that doesn't have a cut line, so it stops. It's just a score line. So this one is just down here, so it cuts up to there, then you've got a gap, and then it cuts again. So I want to make sure that that is down in the bottom left hand corner, so right on that fold there. So it will cut all of this out but leave that part attached. If you haven't got a shop bought 5x7, then just cut yourself a piece of 10x7 and score along the 10-inch side at 5 inches, and then fold it in half, so you've got your card blank. I think that's pretty straight. I'm just going to tack that in place and then run that through my machine. Okay, so now that should just all pop out, and then when you open it, it's still attached. So that is your shaped 3-tiered birthday cake card. I've then cut each of the icing dies, so you've got the 3 there in these different shades of teal, and I've just done a little bit of shading using my alcohol marker, so you can see how they instantly transform it. I think because they kind of look a little bit like slime. I think it could look good as like a Halloween birthday kind of card, or you could have that maybe if you're making like a cauldron, you know, that could be around the edge or something. I think that'd look quite fun. I'm going to add a little bit of foam adhesive sheet just so I can cut some thinner strips. You don't have to add these onto foam, but I think just that extra little bit of dimension would look quite good. So I'm just going to run a strip. They've just got backing on each side there. Might have to make that one a bit smaller actually, just so it sits behind there. Okay, so you can see by adding the foam, it just gives it a bit more dimension, which I think works really well. Then you get, so I've done those dies, you get the candles. So I've just cut that. I think I ran it through twice, and I've just drawn the stripes on, just got a pink marker and just drew some little lines and left a little bit of white in between. And then I coloured the flames with yellow, orange and red. And then I just drew a line of black for the wick, and then added some of my accent glaze on the top there. And I'm going to stick each one. So I think I had 3 along the top, then 4 in the middle, and then 5 along the bottom. I'll lay those all out in a minute. And then you also get the die for the strawberries, and that's for the leaves on them, and then the cherries, and that's the vine of the cherry as well. So I've just done the strawberries, and again I've just done a little bit of shading with my markers and added some of my glaze on there as well. So I was going to do a little cluster of them at the bottom, and then I've left it in the die so I didn't lose it, but I've cut the sentiment that comes in the set on your special day. But I might just have that inside the card, because I think I'm going to leave the front with just all this decoration. So I will pop that out when I go to stick it inside, because I didn't want to lose all the pieces. So I'm going to get all this stuck down. Okay, so I've stuck everything down. I was just taking out the sentiment. I did see if it would just work along the bottom there, but it doesn't quite fit. So I'm going to just, like I said, pop this inside. Okay, so there is the finished card. You could also decorate it with the colours on the packaging as well, because they look nice, and the way they've arranged, like the strawberries and the cherries. But I like it with the teals and the pinks, and then the sentiment on the inside, and it displays really nicely. That isn't a 300 GSM card either. That's about a 220. So if you use a 300 GSM, then it's going to be, yeah, nice and strong. So that is card number 1. Okay, so for card number 2, I'm using a gift for you set. So this is your shaped present die set. Now this could be any present, doesn't obviously, this is more for like a birthday, but this would look great with Christmas colours and Christmas sentiments on it. So I think it's a good one for all year round. So I think this one is to fit in a 6x6 card, but there's no reason why you couldn't partially cut it onto a bigger card front as well, and then have more like pattern paper. You could cut this so it just cuts the front of the card. So if you opened it up, passed it through your die machine like so, it would just cut all this out and you'd have all that still, so you could have some nice pattern paper. But this works the same as that cake, so all on this side here, so that left side, there's no cut line. So the cut line goes all the way around here, down and around, but doesn't cut here. So again, you want to lay that down inside the card blank. So I've got my fold on this side here, tack that in place, and then I'm going to run that through the machine. So this is going to be my base to build the rest of it up on. Oh, there we go. So I think this all pops out. I mean, just pop all the pieces out. So then I've cut it again on this piece, and I just had to cut down that side, and I'm going to just trim off the top here. You could keep this on if you want, but I'm going to trim it off because I don't want you to see any of that colour on the top, and that's going to go over the front here. Okay, I've then got this one, but I don't want to stick that one on yet. I want to stick these down. So you've got these rectangle dice. You see the two that nest together. There must be another one in the pack. I must have popped the other one in one of the other sets. I'm sure I'll find it in a minute. But you have the large one, which is this one here. And then you've got the next size down, which nests inside it, and then these two nest together for the strip here, and then you've got your panels for here, and then this is for your gift tag. Again, the gift tag isn't here either. They must be in the other sets, so they are all there because I've cut them. But you want to stick this one down next, and then that one on top like so. So I'm just going to add, I think I might use some foam again on these just to lift it up. Then I'm going to stick down these ones here, so I need to raise this up on some foam so it's the same height. I've just doubled that up, and I'm just going to add a little glue there. I'm going to start from the top here so it's in the middle of that flower. Okay, like so. And then I'm going to stick that one down on top. I'm not going to add more foam again because I think I'm getting a bit two-dimensional. But this would be nice again to put a gift card in and maybe pop it in a little hamper or in a gift box. You might be making like a little pocket card, mini albums. They're all, you know, going to work really nicely. And then that one I'm going to just stick onto this bit so you can actually see the white through it. I think that looks quite nice. So I'm going to add a little glue here. If this is all flat, you just stick it so it lines up with the one underneath. But I think that's going to work just as well. And then you've got the little oval here. So I've just cut that in the lighter pink colour there. Like so. And then you've got your little tails for your bow here as well. I'm just going to pop them underneath. I don't really think it matters which way they go. And then these two here, I'm going to pop them up on foam. And then you've got your tag here. Again, I don't have the tag die, but I've got that one. Like I said, they're definitely in one of the other sets. But that one will sit nicely over the top. Now I was going to use a little bit of string. You've got the sentiments here. So you've got no time like the present. As you can see, you can have them on there. I think this one does fit within that area. A gift for you. But again, I think I'm going to add one of them inside. So I've done that, but I don't think I like it. I like it without. I just think it looks lovely like that, but you've got the option. I'm just going to keep that inside. I'm going to take the string off. Yeah, I don't think it, you could, maybe you could just stick that underneath that part there. Maybe that would look better. It's nice. I could just have it inside as well. I don't know, but I'm just going to leave it with it. But there's, yeah, that's how you put the present together. So next I'm using this one, which is back to school, and this is your easel shaped card, but you could also turn this into a little planter, and you could just have a nice floral scene. I have actually made something like this before without dies, so you can find that. If I remember, I'll link that up here. But it's quite handy again, you know, as I always say, having the dies as well to cut the shapes for you. So you get your main die here. Now this one cuts it so that it would be a top fold. So you will need I think you'll need A3 card, or you'll need to buy shop bought top fold or landscape, and you just turn them. But because I don't have that size card in craft card, I'm going to show you how you can add, you know, attach it together yourself. So all the pieces, you can see all the dies you've got here. So I've already gone ahead and coloured those all in, which I'll show you in a moment. So when you pass it through, this is how it will cut. So it will cut all of this side, but leave the top portion. You can see the line there. So I cut one and just cut right across there to give me this piece. Now with this one here, I want to add a little bit of a tab. So I'm just going to continue the cut and down here. And then I'm going to cut about 1/2 inch from that line. Okay, if I just grab my scoreboard and just go over that original line there. And then I'm just going to take a little wedge off of the corners, like so. So now I've made a tab. So now I can attach that, and I've made the top fold. So if you don't have that size card, because you can see when it opens up, you're going to need this height, which is more than 12 inches. So like I said, A3 I think you need, or you buy the shop bought cards, but I'm going to do it this way instead. So it's just nice to show you that it can, you know, how you can use it this way as well. I'm going to run my glue along the tab here, and what I've also done, just to ensure it doesn't fall open when it's displayed, because it's a top fold. Top folds are more prone to, when you have them displayed, fall flat like this. So a lot of the time I add a little support inside. So I've got this piece here, which is 3 by 1. Along that 3-inch side, you want to score at 1/2 inch, 1.5 and 2.5. You just do a little concertina fold, so you've got something like that, and you're going to stick the tabs to each side, and then it can only open as much as 2 inches wide, so it will never fall open. So just add your glue, top and the bottom, and then I'm actually going to turn it this way, and I'm going to stick that part down like so, and then just concertina fold that all down and close it. So now you'll see it can only open that far, which is perfect. You might want to reinforce it, cut a couple of layers and stick them together, but I think that's fine. It holds itself, you know, perfectly. Then you get this die here. So this will make the little, I guess, the shelf to put the chalks in and stuff on a chalkboard, but I think it's also going to work well as a little planter. I have inked all of this with my Vintage Photo Distressed Oxide, and this is a craft card that I'm using. You just want to fold and burnish all of the score lines, and you're going to bring this all up and around, and if I just show you, that's how it's going to look. So you've got your little sides, and then you'll have those tabs all on the back, and that's what you'll then stick onto here. So you just need to add a little glue to, you could put this over them, or you could put them over this part, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to add a tiny bit of glue onto each end there, and just bring this up and around, and just pinch that together. Because it's such a small little piece, I'm going to just bring in my tweezers, because my fingers won't go in there. Just make sure you've got a nice right angle. Now before I stick that on, I want to stick the chalkboard on. So this die here, okay, and you want to stick it towards the top. And you've got that gap at the bottom there, because you might not, like I said, be adding that part. I'm going to use the construction glue just to add a bit of strength into the front there. And what you could do is cut this one again in white card and then stick that on the back, and that would be your space then to write your message. Or if you've got a white gel pen or the kind of Posca paint pens, you could write your message, you know, on the actual chalkboard as well, which I think would look good. And then with this one, it overhangs slightly, so you don't need to add your glue right to the ends. I'm just going to add my glue all along the bottom part there. Okay, and then I'm just going to line this up with the bottom of that black piece. Then you've got all your fun pieces to decorate here. So you've got your little cloth to wipe the board. I've done mine in green, which is that one there. Then you've got your little chalk packet and the chalk. So I've cut it in white, and then I've just got a green, purple, blue and yellow piece of chalk. And then you've got your palette and the brush. I just cut mine in white, and then I used my alcohol markers and just coloured in the different kind of blobs and put some grey around the edge as well. And then there's the little paintbrush, very cute. And then I've used the back to school, and I think I'm going to give this to Charlie in September, my nephew, who will be starting big school. He's in nursery at the moment, so I think I'm going to give this to him. And I've just used the foam adhesive, so I'm going to pop that out and then just have that on there. So with the little chalk, I'm just going to sit these behind so you can see each colour, and you can see them poking out the top as well. And maybe just have them popped in there. Have that maybe there. And I put a little bit of red paint. Maybe I'll have that one up here, like so, and then have the back to school running through the middle, and then the chalk at the bottom with the cloth kind of coming over the edge. Yeah, I think that looks quite cute. So I'm going to get that all stuck down. Okay, and there is the finished card. I think this is my favourite so far. It's just something very different, and I think a perfect teacher's card as well. Thinking about it, you could have the teacher's name on there with a thank you. Very, very quirky. Yeah, love that one. Okay, then I've got this one here. So this is your Bloom and Grow. So this is your main card or panel, and then you attach it to this stand. You've got the 2 sentiments, feel better soon, and flowers for you. So I've gone ahead and cut everything. Again, this is a nice size. I think this is more of a 6x6 finish size. All the measurements, they are on the packaging, but they're also on the listing on the website. So I've cut it in white using the main die, and then I've cut it again in craft card, but I've just snipped off the floral decoration. So I'm going to stick that one on top, like so. Again, I think I'm going to add some foam onto this piece. I might just stick that large piece. Actually, before I stick this down, I think I'm going to emboss this piece. I think it'd look really nice embossed with my linen embossing folder, this one. I'm going to run it through with that first. That's added a nice bit of texture there. So I'll stick that one down, and then you've got your die here for like the rim of the plant pot. So I'm going to stick that one down on top. Okay, so that's all stuck down. Now this is your stand. So this die here, when you cut it, you want to fold this line away from you and fold it towards you as well. Just kind of manipulate it, and then you want to fold this piece and fold that in. You see it locks in and it gives you that right angle. That will then stick onto the back, but it can then be just pulled out, flattened to go in the envelope, and then when the person receives it, they just pop it up into that shape. I'm going to use the construction glue. I'm going to stick this on now as well, just so it's easier then for me to add all my decoration. and you want to bring it right down to the bottom and kind of in the middle there. Yes, the fold, when it's folded, it's in the middle ish. Just test that. Yeah, perfect. So there is the tag for the present, which I said I would find. So I found that die. And then there is the smaller one as well, which was that one that I was missing. So I found those, which is good. I'll pop all these ones away once I've shown you. So you've got your flower dies and your leaves here. So I've just cut a variety, and I've just used some of my alcohol marker on them as well, just add a little bit more kind of depth to them. And then the sentiment, flowers for you, which I thought would look quite nice on the front, or as I seem to be doing with them, I quite like them inside, so I may just pop that one inside. You've also got Feel Better Soon as well, so I'm going to have a little play around. And the nice thing about this is the shape of this kind of is a guide for you to add your flowers. I've put some dimension into mine, but you can imagine they're flat, they fit into there. I would stick the leaves down first. You see it fits perfectly into there, so stick the leaves down, there's a couple down that end, and then build the flowers up on top. Okay, so there is that card all finished. I added the flowers for you on the back there, but you can see, you know, follow the layout of the one on the front there. Looks nice. These are great cards as well for anyone in hospital. Certainly in the UK you can't bring in real flowers, so something like that on their side table would look really sweet. And I think this would be nice for Mother's Day, spring cards, Easter cards, things like that. You don't have to have the flowers there, you could have little bunnies, and it could be a Christmas poinsettia pot and things like that. So I think there's definitely lots you can do with this one. So next I'm going to show you how to put together the supersize tag. So you can see that lovely size here, and this is for a 5x7 kind of envelope size. So I've already cut this one, and I used my wood grain embossing fold. I thought it looked quite nice with the flowers. So you've got, again, just tip them all out there. It's a nice set actually for the flowers and the leaves. They're really nice dies. You'll see them there when I put them together, but I think they're lovely to have in there. And then you've got Just For You sentiment and the Happy Birthday. So this is the main die here, and it gives you this detail as well, so you know where to lay the leaves down. So I'm going to use this kind of light purple colour card. So this is a 5x7 shop brought card. Again, just cut a piece of 10x5 and score along the 10-inch side at 5 inches, and that will give you your card blank if you don't have any. And again with this one, you don't have the cut line on the left hand side, so I'm just having that sit slightly off the edge there. It's nice and straight along the bottom, and just tie that in place. Yeah, it is 5x6. It's just fitting within that card. Again, if you've got a bigger die machine, if you open it up this way and just die cut it, well, you can run it right the way through, it's not going to cut there, but it will just cut it out of the front of the card, so you have the back of the card still, you know, as that whole piece. But I'm going to run the whole thing through because I do want to show the whole shape. Then I used this die to cut this piece here and then emboss that. Again, I'm just going to put these dies away as I go, because then I know I've explained all the pieces. So I'm just going to stick that one directly down. I'm going to just leave it a little bit open at the top there so I can run a little bit of ribbon through. Okay, so that's got a nice frame there. And then these are all the pieces that I've cut. So I'm going to have this as a birthday card. So I'm going to have the Happy Birthday, I thought, on an angle up there. I've cut a couple of the leaves just because I thought it'd be nice to lay them up, but you can see they sit perfectly over this part. So I'm going to stick that one down directly, and then I might just snip into that one. And then these are the flowers. So you can layer them up. You could just keep it as a single. I think I'm going to layer them up. And then you've got the stamen detail. And that's all on these plates. And you can see these leaves here. And then that's obviously the bigger one there. And then the two sentiments. So I'm going to have a little play around with the arrangement. and just build up a nice cluster of the flowers in the bottom there, and then add a little bit of ribbon through the top, and then I'll show you it when it's all finished. Okay, so there is the finished card. Really sweet. I think this one would actually work quite well for Halloween as well as a tombstone. You could do a spooky scene, you could just snip off this, or have this as like black vines or something going up the side. But the top of this does, yeah, remind me of the top of a gravestone, tombstone. But it's a really nice, again, style. You could have your sentiment inside there as well. You could always snip off that detail if you didn't want it on the back as well. But yeah, really, really sweet. So that's your supersized tag. And then this one is the all dressed up. Now this is probably the simplest one, I would say. There's a few ways you can actually do this one as well. So it will cut out the dress, which you can keep as a dress, or you could add different tops to it. You've got this little bow detail here as well, which could be attached to any of the tops there. And then you've got the sentiment, a very special occasion. So I've got my 5x7 card blank. And again, you'll see all the way around here is a cut line, but there's a gap here where it's not. So I'm going to line that up just off the edge there. So this does make quite a small one. If you remember the champagne glass or bottle, sorry, champagne bottle with the glass, it reminds me of that one. That was from the first set. So again, I think this could make nice little party invitations, or you could use this as a topper on, you know, another card. So I'm just going to pass that through my machine. I actually think this style would probably be better to just partially cut on the front only. So like I showed you with the gift tag one before, because you could then just have the dress just cut, but have all of this still visible for you to stamp and maybe have some nice pattern paper. But they are the shaped cards, so I'm going to cut right through just so you can see exactly how they look. So there is your little card. It's very cute. Now I think if you didn't know that it was a dress, you could turn that into a little vase. So you could now have some flowers coming out the top. You could tie some ribbon and twine around the middle. So I think you could turn it into something else. Yeah, it's definitely got a bit of a bottle look to it as well. And then I've cut both of the tops just so you could see how they look in a lighter shade of pink. I like this one because it's got that embossed detail, and you see they fit perfectly over the top. I mean, it's perfect for like a Cinderella themed party, or if you've just got, you know, a grandchild, child that just loves Disney princesses and things like that, then yeah, I think this is really nice. So I think I'm going to go for that one, but I don't know if the belt would still work with that. Maybe we'll throw it all on there. Yeah, you could get away with that as well. So I'm just going to add, I think I'll add the glue onto the top part instead. Just make sure it's nice and lined up from the back. There we go. And then just add the glue along the smallest point of the waist there. You see that fits in there perfectly. And then you've got your little buckle detail, which I've just cut in the gold. Probably done that too small. Let's add the glue onto this instead. Give that a minute to dry. Very cute. Then you've got your sentiment there, very special occasion. So I'm going to have that in the middle of the dress there. Almost want it to be, I feel like snipping it because it's all off to the left and then there's this gap. I think I'm going to snip into this. I'm so fussy. They must watch me do these videos sometimes and go, but Sam, that's the way we designed it. But I think I'm just going to snip all of them. It's quite easy to do so. Again, I always like to show you, you know, adapt them if you need to. Yeah, you can cut that one as well. Let's snip into this. There we go. You would never know. A very special occasion. Yeah, that just feels a bit more balanced now for me. I think that's it. Yeah, I just need to stick that down and then it's done. There's the little bow and the ribbon there. So like I said, you could have that. It could be the back of the dress, I guess. Or it could be a bow at the top there. So that's quite sweet as well. So I'll pop all that away and get the rest stuck down. Okay, so like I said, I think it's the easiest one out of them all, but still very sweet, and it's definitely got a place, like I said, for invitations, or I think a nice topper. You could pop that then on top of a card. But yeah, I prefer the sentiment how I've done it. So that is your all dressed up. And then this is the last one I'm going to be putting together, because the very last one I've already made, and that tutorial is up on the Craft Stash channel, which I'll show you in a moment. So this is the mason jar. So again, I think this one is great for lots of occasions. I can see this at Christmas time, turn it into a bit of a snow globe, but as a mason jar, I think that would look sweet. Obviously spring and summer, it's going to be perfect with little bees. You could have a little fairy or angel inside. So I think lots of ways to do this one. You've got 3 sentiments in this one. So you've got Home Sweet Home, a jar full of love, and don't get in a pickle. So I've already gone ahead and again cut everything out. I think I'm going to turn this into a shaker. I've got these blue sequins here, which I've had for years. I think they would go quite well. So I think we're going to do that. So I've cut everything. So you've got your main die here, which I've cut. Oh, let's get rid of all of this. Which I've cut in the blue. And I've just cut down where it doesn't cut fully, because again, you can see there, that section. Then I want to cut it again now into my card blank. So again, this is a 5x7. I think there's only 2 6x6 ones, and all the rest of those taller, you know, 5x7 size cards. But like I said, things like that, that would fit into, you know, a smaller envelope. I think that'd make a nice gift tag as well, that dress. So I'm just going to, again, sit that so it's just hanging off the side of that folded edge. Next, I want to take this die, which you can just cut in cardstock and then stick it onto the front. But I'm going to cut this now inside of this one. So I want to turn this blue piece into a frame. I'm just going to line that up so it's nice and centered. I'll pop a bit along the bottom as well. I'm just going to run that through. And then I've cut myself this piece of acetate, which is going to stick just behind it. It was actually a piece of scrap. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to run this thin red tape all the way around. Make sure your acetate is nice and clean. Okay, so that is now going to stick onto here. We're going to have all the shaker parts inside. I think I'm going to have the sentiment stuck on here, so you'll see that inside with all the bits moving around. So I want to seal, I need to make a foam seal now. I don't have the foam on the roll, but I do have the foam sheets here, adhesive sheets. So I'm just going to cut just a couple of thin strips. Just need to make sure that our sequins don't fall out. My hands are covered in glue. This is what you get from making 7 cards in a row. So I'm just going to pop this one down this side, snip that one away, pop one down the other side. With the next ones, you want to make sure that you butt them right up so that none of the sequins can get out. So I'm just going to bring that one up to there. It doesn't have to be neat, you know, you don't see any of this. That's going to work fine. Then I'm going to stick this down. Okay, so all this decoration is for the front. I'm going to now tip my sequins inside the jar. I only want a few because what I don't want is it to cover my sentiment. I'll probably go for a few more. You watch. I'll put too many in and you won't be able to see the sentiment, because the idea is that they drop down enough that you will see the jar full of love. Some of them are going to stick to the foam inside. I think I can get away with that. I'll go for it. So I'm going to take all the backing off. And I'm going to start from the top, actually lining up that detail. Ah, yes, that's fine. I could have got a few more, but you see what I mean? Some of them will stick around, but I want you to be able to see the words, which you do, so that's good. So that's how you turn it into a shaker. And then this one now goes on the top, but it's optional. You could just have this piece, or you could actually tie some real twine around there, which I still may do. I think I'm going to add a little bit of foam on the top for this one. I'll just add a little glue along this piece. Very cute. And then these ones, I just want to build up a little cluster of flowers down the bottom here. So I've actually ended up putting the hearts just on the front there, because it's a jar full of love, so I thought they work quite well, and I've just put a little enamel dot there. So the dies, I didn't show you them all there, but you can see that one, and that's the one for the top. You've got two different, oh yeah, the 3 sentiments, so don't get in a pickle. Then that one, a jar of love, which I've used, and the home sweet home. And then that's all of the flowers. They are the shaker elements as well. You can see they've got them in there, so you could use those instead. And you've got the little butterflies as well. I kind of used the reference picture there for the colours, but you know, this is, like I said, going to work for many occasions. I definitely see a nice Christmas card with a little Christmas scene inside, and you know, some little beads or something to shake around. I think that'd look really sweet. And then this is the last one. So this is Follow Your Heart, which is perfect for now because we've got Valentine's Day just around the corner, but it's also a nice one for all year round as well. You can see that lovely heart shape. And this one, like I said, the tutorial is over on the Craft Stash YouTube channel, and it does cut that whole shape along the bottom as well. You can see it all there. And I embossed that using one of the Creative Craft Products embossing folders, and that's a top fold. So just bring them all back in again, so you can see all 8 of these really cool shaped cards. Let me know in the comments which one's your favourite. So you've got the cake. I think for me it's between these two, the cake and the easel, because I think they are quite different, even though that, you know, it's a birthday cake, you see them all the time. I just think the way that that kind of pops with the icing and stuff, it's quite different. So these are the 2 standouts for me. I love the present as well. I think that's really cool. And the mason jar, I'm definitely going to do some more with that. So yeah, again, gift for you, back to school, bloom and grow, supersized tag, all dressed up, mason jar, and follow your heart. So there's something there for most occasions, and I think the tag would also look nice as a sympathy card as well, and the heart as well. So yeah, hopefully something for all occasions. And remember, that one I think would look really nice with flowers on it, so it's a bit like a window Christmas scene, all that kind of stuff. I think it'll look fab. So as always, all of this product you can find over on the Craft Stash website just by clicking here. I also have it linked below. In the playlist here, I will have the other shaped cards that I did, the ones with the mobile phones and things like that. So they'll all be in there. So if you've never heard of this brand before, head over to the playlist just so you can see some other styles, and check them out over on the website as well, because yeah, they're really good for shaped cards and all of your basic kind of tools and supplies that you need for card making and paper crafts. So thank you again for watching today, and I'll be back again very soon. Take care. Bye.